Welcome to Meet the Candidate 2022, and my guest today is Andrew Biviano, candidate for District Court Judge, Position 6. Welcome, Andrew.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Okay, so this kind of nonpartisan, non-political conversation is perfect for judicial races because you cannot be partisan in a judicial race. And this is just to get acquainted, starting with, tell us about where you grew up.
I grew up here. I'm a local Spokane kid. I moved here in '75 right after I was born, and I've been here basically my entire life, from the valley to the city. I left for 4 years for college, and then 4 years after college, I worked in Seattle. But so for 39 of my 47 years, I've lived in Spokane.
So where did you graduate from for high school?
So I was a Catholic school kid growing up. So I went to St. Mary's with my 6 siblings out in the valley for a lot of my childhood. My dad worked there as the youth director, and then I moved over to St. George's, which wasn't Catholic, but still felt like it, for high school. I got a scholarship to go there. My family really sacrificed so much to get me educated. I mean, all of us, it was our primary value. You know, it's an expensive school. I benefited from the gift of the school giving me a scholarship, as well as I did work study to work there every summer to mow the lawns and take the school. And my parents sacrificed to get me there, and I graduated from St. George's High School up by Meade in '93.
Well, it sounds like your first job then, connecting pay and effort, was that maintenance work that you were doing at St. George's. Is it, or was there something else?
Actually, my first job, I started when I was age 12. I worked at Born Again Bugs in the valley, washing their cars in the mornings and the night in the summertime. I had to work, buy my own school clothes and my own haircuts and my own spending money, because there were 6 of us, and it was just a lot of work. So yeah, and it really felt good. When I worked at the school, I didn't get paid for it other than my tuition credits, but it felt good that I could help out, that I knew my family was bearing a lot of the responsibility, and I could chip in myself.
Okay, so after St. George's, where did you continue your education? Now, I know as an attorney, you have more education than that.
Right. So I really did well at St. George's, as I was lucky to be there, and I got some great mentorship in academics. And so I got into Yale University in New Haven, Connecticut. So I went there from '93 to '97. I majored in clinical child psychology, which has come in handy quite a bit in my personal life as a parent, as well as in my professional life. It's where I met my wife. So for the first, and after I graduated, for about 6 more years, I worked as a child and adult mental health specialist in Seattle, and then moved back home to Spokane.
So was it in the moving home to Spokane that you went to law school?
Yeah, one of the reasons I moved back to Spokane was I missed having family close by. You know, with little kids, you want grandma to both have a relationship with them and help with the child care. And then also had Gonzaga here, which is a great law school, especially for people who want to get into public service. So I was a Gonzaga Law School grad myself. In 2006, I graduated.
Okay.
Yeah.
And another kind of question that I ask folks is about travel experience, because even just traveling within the United States, one can put into perspective your own community. Well, you had time in northern New Jersey at Princeton.
Yeah.
Is it anything that you learned from that or from other travel that affects how you see your community?
Absolutely. You know, growing up here, I think I'm like a lot of other kids who grew up in Spokane, where it seems like the most boring place because nothing happens here, and you hear the news where all the other things are happening. So I was sure I was going to graduate, get out of Spokane, and never come back. That's why I only looked at colleges in the East Coast. And 8 years away from Spokane, especially looking at like the cost of living in Seattle and the travel and the traffic and everything else going on, I thought, and once I had kids, I realized no place like home. And I took a semester abroad in France. I traveled most of the United States, tried out big cities and other time zones and other weather. And I realized Spokane is the place to be. It's home. It's the greatest place to raise a kid. And so I think travel was a really important piece for me to appreciate what I already had.
Okay. So what inspired you to run for judge?
You know, I love the law so much, and I've always wanted to be a judge because they play such an important part in the legal system. they make the decisions, and they want to, and it's so important to get it right. They also the ones there that represent the entire system to litigants and establish trust and confidence in the law, and they are the ones who keep us safe. You know, the law is a tool that they get to use to make us all a law-abiding, safe community. I started off as a prosecutor at the U.S. Attorney's Office, and then I moved on. And so I'm so curious about different areas. I did a lot of civil work. I did some class actions on behalf of victims of businesses fraud and employment and wage theft. I've done civil rights cases, so I both defended the government as well as gone against it when I feel like it's doing the wrong thing. And then I've been doing, because I want to keep branching out and challenge myself, I've been doing part-time judging at the district court level. It's called pro tem. And I discovered that I love it. I'm good at it, and I make a big difference. I feel like it combines some of my social work and my mental health background from college, where I can connect with people and meet them at where they are, even if they're having a really rough time. I mean, usually being in court means you're having a bad day, and so you need to be there and sit with them. And then at the same time, it's that legal challenge of taking all these facts that are presented to me and getting to the bottom of what's real and what's true, what happened, and then applying the law fairly each time. I'm proud of the fact that even when people are losing, when the losing party in front of me feels like they got a fair shake at least, it feels like I made a difference. And so when I saw that there was a retirement for this seat and it was open, I thought that would be a really great way for me to continue my career, my public service, and make a difference.
Well, that was almost the whole summary right there, but I still will give you that last word to answer the direct question. Why should people vote for Andrew Biviano for District Court Judge Position 6?
Because I bring all the experience you'd want in a judge, the drive and the proper motivation. I'm one of the very few people I've ever met who's been both criminal prosecutor and defense attorney, plaintiff on the prosecution side and on the defense side on civil cases. I've done civil rights, I've done mental health law, I've done a mental health background. I know how systems work, and you can know that if you're in front of me, you'll have a very fair hearing where I'll do the work to get it right. And when you're not in front of me, you know that I'm working for you to make sure that our system of government and judicial system here in Spokane County is playing by the rules, doing the right thing, working hard, and making the community safer on your behalf.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us today, Andrew, and enjoy the campaign.
Thank you very much.
Bye.